I remember a lot of things from Maverick, but it's him and Rooster at the end. It's
that's it.
That moment.
And getting to that place, finding the right emotional balance wherein you have a conflict between these two characters. They kept saying, we want more scenes with them together, because they wanted to recreate Maverick and Goose, which of course we understood. And your desire is to rush right to what the audience wants. The minute their relationship is resolved, the movie is over.
Right. Tighten that screw as much as possible.
Yes, and if they have too many conversations where they don't talk about their problem, you're just like, guys, just talk about your fucking problem already. Just you'd be frustrated with the characters.
Totally.
Tom and I inherently understood that balance, and everyone else around us was pushing for what they wanted in the movie in the micro, and Tom and I were focused entirely on the macro. And the challenge of that became, of course, the fact that when you're making a movie, and you can reference other movies when I say this, if your character doesn't like the protagonist, no matter how much you want me to like that character, the rules of movie making say, I don't like that character.
Right.
Even if I don't like the protagonist all that much. You're an antagonist. Rooster was always riding the edge of falling into being an antagonist.
Right.
You had to build an entire world around that character so that you liked him despite the fact that he didn't like the guy you're rooting for. That's the bones of the movie that we knew and were always after, were always pushing in terms of making sure in every scene I feel affinity for this character. I want to like both characters, and I want to see them be friends, and that's the reward of the movie. It's not finishing the mission, it's not Great Balls of Fire, it's not any of that. It's the ultimate emotional payoff. Much like in the first movie, his relationship with Iceman. He had his relationship with Rooster, but his relationship with Iceman, as much as Iceman was antagonizing Maverick, he was cool, and he was a better pilot, and he was right about everything that he was saying. You want to see them be friends. Why the sword fight in Princess Bride works, as good as the choreography is. Yes, it's great choreography. What really makes it great is they're two great characters, and you don't want to see either of them lose.
Right.
And you want those characters to be friends.
Yeah.
And that's why that ending is so utterly satisfying. Understanding those things, there is no cookie cutter version of that. You have to strive for and fight for and push for that dynamic. I can write it and we can shoot it. That doesn't mean you'll feel it. And we look at it all the time and go, I ain't buying it. Maverick and Penny's relationship ultimately worked when we shot Jen Connolly for a fourth time on a little piece of a bar in front of a green screen. And she improvised a line in the middle of a newly written version of the scene where she said, it always ends the same way with us, Pete. Let's not start this time. When she said that, I suddenly knew how to structure the rest of their relationship, because it's really hard to create conflict between a man and a woman in a movie in which the man desperately needs to go and do what he needs to do.
Right.
How can that character be saying to him, what about me? Same thing with Grace in these movies. How do you create tension in the relationship without having one of the characters be completely ignoring how important the stakes of the movie are? Those are big challenges, and they take forever. Haley's first scene in the movie, we shot 2 months ago. And we shot it after we tested it the first time and looked at it and went, oh, of course, I know exactly what I need to do with this character, and I need to do it in 2.5 minutes. And I am very fortunate in that I work with a leading man to whom I can say, we have to do this scene, and you got to give everything to Haley. You got to give it all to Haley, and that's going to make her essential to the story. That's how those movies are engineered. You do it by sense of feel.